I was about 11, 12 years old. We were new to the community. My father was a pharmacist owning a small local pharmacy, the only pharmacy in town. It was a snowy, very kind of blustery Christmas Eve. We were waiting for my dad to get home from the pharmacy, and he came through the door and he said, you know, "Hey everybody, I could use your help for a few minutes. I just picked up some things from the store for a family. They were in the pharmacy and the dad is sick, and you know, they're really having a hard time right now." It had just been my birthday and I'd gotten a jewelry box. I felt that jewelry box would be something that someone else would appreciate as much as I did. So we wrapped it up and we headed off out into the dark night, and it was a dark and snowy night, but you know, it was Christmas Eve. It was exciting, and we started to drive up to this home, and it was, you know, a little dark and scary to me as a young girl, and it was unfamiliar. But we went up to the door, and the family was, you know, answered the door, and we just kind of stepped inside, wished them a Merry Christmas, and dropped the gifts and the items off for their family, and we headed home. It was a good feeling, but yet it was a little intimidating and a little scary. From that experience, my dad started to realize in this, you know, being new to this community, that there was a big need for helping others. Over the years, he started up slowly and in a small way with the Rotary, started Toys for Tots, and then the Marines then did get involved, and it grew to be a tremendously successful program in that small community, and still is today. Years later, after my dad did pass away, while at his funeral service, I was meeting so many people that would tell me all the wonderful things, and you know, as my dad was always, and my parents were always involved in giving back to the community, giving to others, and so I heard so many stories about giving and what it means to other people that my dad had done. And one woman walked up to me in the reception line at the funeral service, and she gave me a big hug and said, "You know, your dad really was a great man and did so much." And she was hugging me, and she stepped back and looked at me, and she said, "You don't know who I am." And she said, "I have your jewelry box." And she said that was the best gift I ever received on that Christmas. And it, you know, she said, "It's always meant so much to me." And she said, "I just want to thank you for that." And so that, years later, really stood out to me on what something I thought was, you know, was a nice thing to do one Christmas Eve, but really I didn't give it a lot of thought for many years. Really made an impact to me that a gift, no matter how small it is, you might think it's not much, but it can really make a difference to someone in their life. And I don't think we always will have the opportunity to understand the impact that what your gestures or your kindness or giving can provide for another person, but knowing that just the smallest of things can make a huge impact for others.
Man, Wausau, I hope you had a good time with us tonight. Thank you so much. I had an awesome time, if that means anything to you. You know, I just want to first of all thank you from the bottom of my heart again. You know, seeing everybody come in here and bring all this stuff, really, you know, this has been my life for a long time here planning tonight, and we have so many things that I see that have so much potential to mean so much for kids, you know? And I just want to take a moment and plan for the future, you know, and think about after tonight, because you heard Kathy say in this video that Christmas Eve when she was so young, you know, what they were going to do that night, it was just normal. You know, it was what they did as a family. They helped others, you know, every year. And what we're doing here tonight is normal for a lot of us, and that's awesome. And we have to continue that. But what struck me when I met Kathy and she told me her story is that there was something else about that night. And it became scary for her. And she didn't really understand that until 25 years later. And I really think that the reason it was scary is because something extraordinary happened. She got that jewelry box for her birthday and turned it right back around and gifted it to a child who it meant way more than anyone could comprehend. And you know, this looks like a little remote control truck to us, you know, that somebody brought here tonight. But let's think this might change somebody's life, and it might turn them around, because this is hope more than anything. So thank you so much. And I want these kids to hear us coming. So if you wouldn't mind standing up out of your chairs and just reaching up toward the top of this beautiful theater with me for just a moment. And if you would just close your eyes and imagine the child's expression and the look on his face when he wakes up Christmas morning and he or she sees this new toy. And it's like, man, somebody out there cares. And you know, my parents were able to hook me up with this. And tomorrow's gonna be just a little bit brighter than today. Just imagine that for a minute. That's beautiful. Now let's sing a real quick song together so these kids can hear us coming.